Now then guys, how are you doing? Good morning. Back at the lake. It's been a week or so I think. 2 degrees this morning. Bloody chilly. Scraping my windscreen again this morning, but you know, good to be back on the bank again. Right, so today I've actually come down the shallow part of the lake. I've had 2 or 3 blanks now down the deep end, so I'm hoping the sun's out today. Well, eventually it's going to come out anyway, so I'm hoping it might warm the water up a bit for me. Hopefully the pike might come in the top layers, but we know what it's like when it's pike fishing, guys, don't we? On these 6-2-3 really cold nights, I'm just going to get the reds down and just lay there. Anyway, we're here for the day. Bait wise today, a little bit different. I'm going to put a popped up smelt on, a popped up roach, and also I'm going to be drifting a smelt and a roach again up and down the lake all day. Again, the breeze is running all the way down the lake, so again on me here on the main lake again. Happy days. So I'm going to get the rods out. It's only what, 7:20 in the morning, so hopefully I shall speak to you soon. See you soon. Right guys, quick update. Been here about an hour now. I just want to show you where I've got my baits. Anyway, I've got quite a big peg today. On my left hand side I've got a lovely little bay, and what I've done in this little bay here is I put a popped up roach on. It's probably about a foot off the bottom, so anything hopefully that's coming in and out of that bay, it's going to see the roach. It's all about sight, this one, so hopefully, you know, if they feel like they're going to be on the feed today, I've got a chance there. The middle rod is I'm just going to pan round. This one here, that's a popped up smelt. Again, I've got about 8 foot of water in front of me, so I've popped them up about 2 foot. So again, anything on the bottom, anything that's cruising about, it's about smell and also sight. But again, I've got loads of water in front of me. So again, anything that's passing left or right, hopefully it'll pick the smelt up. But on my right hand rod, I'll just take you through a little walk round. Tucked away in the corner, I've got a lovely little reed bed here. And what I've done is, I've just popped my float rod out. You can see me float just there, guys. Float is just there. So hopefully, with any luck, anything that's in this little bay to my right will pick up my roach. Again, that's about probably mid-water. I put it about 3.5 foot. So again, I've got 2 lovely bays to play with. A lot of open water in front of me. The sun's coming out. In fact, the sun is out now. So hopefully it'll get the fish on the move. But as we know with piking, it's never that easy. Right. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to pop back over into my chair, sit and watch the world go by, have a quick brew, and hopefully my next update I might have a little bit more to report. But I have got a nice little story to tell you on my next update. Sorry. It's going to be about Castle Howard, that great big lake in Yorkshire. Happened a few years ago. I'm sure a lot of you will have heard of Castle Howard, some of you won't, but anyway, stay tuned and I'll speak to you soon. Right guys, I'm back. Before I tell you about Castle Howard, I just want to say the sun's out now and it's absolutely stunning, warming up nicely. Anyway, Castle Howard, huge lake in Yorkshire. Like I said, some of you might have heard of it, some of you might not. But going back in the day, it must have been, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s. I'd only ever fished local park lakes or lakes in the area. Anyway, I'd heard about Castle Howard. I've heard about these huge pike that lived in there. So I thought, right, let's give it we'll give it a whirl. As usual, it's a midweek day off work. Anyway, so off I went to Castle Howard, pulled up in the car park, geared out the car, walked down to the bank, and I was met by what to me looked like this just colossal inland sea. And I thought, how the hell am I supposed to fish this? I've never seen anything so huge before, you know what I mean? Used to little lakes and parks in the area. just something completely different to me. Anyway, I knew there's some huge pike in here. I've seen the photographs online and so on and so on and so on. Anyway, as luck would have it, there's quite a few guys pike fishing when I arrived. I got some decent advice. Basically, fish 2-3 rod lengths out, bottom of the bar, sit and wait. Hopefully the big girls will come along. But what I did, well, I couldn't really believe it at the time what happened. At the time, the bailiff that owned it, I can't recall his name, there was him, a couple of sons. Anyway, while I was fishing, one of the bailiff's lads, he caught, well, looked like maybe 2-3 pound pike. And I thought, oh, nice little fish, nice little fish. And the guy next to me said, watch what they do now. So I went, what do you mean? He said, watch what they do now. Anyway, so I stood up, walked a few yards to my left, and what they'd done is, they had this huge 4 or 5 foot trace. I'm not kidding you guys, it must have had 5 or 6 trebles in it. Absolutely horrible bit of kit basically. And this poor pike, they just stuck a treble in its mouth and just wrapped the trace completely around its body. So it had like 6 trebles stuck in it. And I'm not kidding you, the pike float they used, just like a huge bung you'd see at sea. And I thought, what the hell's going on here? Anyway, one of them had the pike in his hand, without obviously getting stuck in the barbs, and he just bloody chucked the pike in the water. And obviously then the bung followed. And I thought, what's all this about? Never seen this before. And I thought, it's a bit barbaric, is this? Anyway, as luck would have it, or not for the bloody poor pike obviously, but I actually got to see the biggest pike that I've ever seen on the bank. Because within, I don't know, 3-4 hours, this bloody big bung sailed away. Anyway, the guy that had this bloody poor little pike on it, he'd pulled onto the bank, a 38 pound pike. I'd never seen a pike as big as this. I think at the time, before I went to Castlewood, my biggest pike was probably 18, 19 pounds. So to me, this looked like just this immense fish. Anyway, rightly or wrongly, it worked for them. I don't agree with it, but there again, a lot of people use live roach and so on for live bits anyway, don't they? So it's one of them, innit? Anyway, what I found out over the years, that the bailiff at the time, he's decided, allegedly, to start netting Castlewood, and I believe, again, rumourville, it's only a rumour, that he sold on a lot of the massive pike that was in there, which is a shame. Because I heard again on the grapevine that there was quite a few 30s in there. I also believe one came out mid to lower 40s as well. So what a shame that is. Again, at the time there used to be loads and loads of bream anglers in there, so the pike must have been gorging on this huge shoal of bream. But anyway, it's a shame. I mean, to this day now, I don't even know if Castlewood's actually still open as a fishery. So if anybody does know that, and does anybody still know if there's any big pike in there, I'd like to know. I hope it is open again, but again, I'm not saying the bailiff and his sons destroyed the fishery, but if rumour has it, a lot of the big pike was taken away, which is obviously a shame for us anglers that, you know, want to try out these new places. Anyway, that's a bit about Castlewood. Still quiet here, I'm afraid. But it's actually, you know what, the conditions are perfect, they really are lovely. So I'm going to give it another go. I'm going to bring my rods in, I'm going to cast them in different areas now. I'm going to probably stand up with me float rod, I'm going to drift it all the way down the bottom end of the lake, because again the breeze is coming lovely down to me. So I shall be in touch, guys, and I will see you in a couple of hours. Right guys, it's just turned 12 o'clock, believe it or not. I was about to say I'm going to move, but I've just had a little run on my middle rod, which is a popped up smelt. It's not a big fish, but you know what? They're all welcome. First fish season for me. There you go. It's a little jack, about, I don't know, 3-4 pound. But yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'll get her back and hopefully I might see a big girl later on. So yeah, result. I'll see you soon, guys. Happy days. Right, it is now just gone 2 o'clock. Very rarely I move, you know, very rarely I move. Once I set my stall out, I normally wait for the pike to come to me, but the sun's just been beating down in this bottom end all day. So I know it's shallow water here. I'm hoping the water's warmed up just enough to get these pike moving again. So I've got the left hand rod's just down the margin. I've got my middle rod about 10 yards just chucked out in front. Left hand rod's got a popped up smelt on, middle rod's got a bottom bait smelt on. And my right on rod, I've got the popped up roach, say about a foot off the bottom, 6 to 8 foot of water underneath a hanging tree. So we've got 3 hours left, so hopefully might get another one. After that, you know, the first pike I got earlier, that was about 12 o'clock. I thought to myself, I've either found them or they're on the move. So because it's been such a warm day, I'd like to think the pike are on the move. So like I say, I've moved. If it works or not, we don't know. But if you sat there with itchy feet, which I have had, I've had itchy feet now for the last couple of hours. So I've upped sticks. It's still lovely. The sun's gone in now. It's nice and cloudy. It's flat calm this side as well. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. And hopefully, big or small, we'll have one more before we go. Right guys, as usual, I'm going to sit back, enjoy the view and the wildlife, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Right, the time now is 4 o'clock. Been in this peg, what, a couple of hours? Nothing as yet. Still nice and calm here. Was the move worth the while? Well, I don't know guys, I've still got an hour left. I suppose a lot of you have like me where you don't get to pick and choose when you come fishing. It's like me, I can only ever come fishing when I've got a rest day from work, and today is that day. So I know there's a lot being said about, you know, the air pressure that affects the fishing, and obviously it does. So unfortunately, if we don't pick the right day off work and the air pressure is not ideal, then unfortunately guys, we're not going to catch much, are we? But anyway, I had that small jack dinner about 12 o'clock, which, to be honest with you, very rarely I've caught pike, you know, towards lunchtime. So it was like first thing in the morning or late afternoon when it's getting dark. So it's a bit of a bonus fish for me, really. So anyway, I'm just going to recast my rods again. I just keep going further down the margins, the right margin and the left margin. There's one banged out in front of me. So there's still time. I'm always confident. So we'll see how we go. One thing that I don't do though, fellas, a lot of the, well, I know some people do. At the end of the day, when I finish fishing, I do not throw my dead baits in the water. Because I've got another old saying, never ever feed, or should I say, never give a pike a free meal. You know what I mean? Don't fill them up. Where's the point if you come back the next day and they've eaten your dead baits and they're not going to feed on your baits when you come fishing again? Just a little thing that I don't do. Anyway, we shall crack on. I'm having one more drink and I'll speak to you hopefully before I go home, because I'll have had one. If not, I'll speak to you at the close of play. Alright, I'll see you soon, fellas. Right, that's it again. Day's over. I had a small jack about lunchtime, so at least I've broken my duck. Want another blank. End of the day, if I did blank again, don't really bother me, because I'm out on the bank, I'm enjoying myself and I'm fishing. And the main thing is, I'm not at work, so that is a bonus. So yeah, I'll be back as usual, don't know when. I think I've got quite a lot of commitments this next couple of weeks, so probably going to be a couple of weeks now until I'm able to come back on the bank again. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the videos. I've never done anything like this before, so I hope it's easy to follow. And it is what it is. It's everyday normal fishing. You know, basic fishing, just as it should be, nothing too complicated. Anyway, it's time to be off, although I don't want to go because it's still light, but unfortunately it's chucking out time. So don't forget guys, if you're not on the bank, you can't catch. Until next time, take care.